Welcome to the Retro Boost podcast, where we just talk about random stuff. It's been a while, because this isn't like kind of like a mainstay thing on the channel. Just us to get in front and have some fun conversations. Joining me, Tori. It's definitely been a while. I think the last couple podcasts I did with Mike, I think it was like the Mike and Mike show, basically. Me and him.
I love that though, dude. You guys are great.
That was a joke we had when we were coworkers. It was Mike and Mike in the morning. We were doing things. But as you said before we started filming, it feels like it's the year of Resident Evil, both stuff going on and just content on the channel. The channel's not like morphing into a Resident Evil fan channel on purpose. Dude. It's just what's going on right now. And we're here to kind of continue that with the Resident Evil movie teaser has dropped, and accompanying director commentary on the teaser has dropped, and we're gonna be talking about it because there's a lot of reactions to it. Lots of reactions. The first
both good and bad, but it feels like mostly bad.
The first day was pretty rough.
Oof. Brutal.
And I'm a little confused by those reactions. That's my stance. So I'm gonna come out swinging that I don't agree with a lot of the reactions. That said, although I never assume that anything I make for the channel is gonna get more than like 10 views, I will say, in the rare chance that this video like explodes and I wake up tomorrow morning to like 42 trillion views, keep it civil. If you hate this movie's teaser, that's fine. If you love it, that's fine. Don't be crazy with your comments. I've had to hide one person's comment in this channel's history. This absolute raving maniac who referred to Samus as a breedable subject during one of my live streams.
Jeez, that's crazy.
So if you're gonna go to like that level of like holy shit, I will absolutely be hiding comments.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's great is that you made the comment a minute ago that there's going to be two sides to this, and both are fine, and I think there's room for both too. I think that there's a little bit of health involved in what's going on right now. I think that we'll talk plenty about it, but I think that there's a lot of overreactions, in my opinion, based on fan gatekeeping, kind of. It's just a strange thing to me.
Good term for it.
And I've tried to make this point online. Like, we're fighting over scraps here. Like, we haven't had a good Resident Evil film. So what are we doing? Like, if we were trying to remake Titanic, I'd be like, oh, I don't know. Titanic's pretty damn good. Like, this needs to be all right. But that doesn't exist for the RE series. So I've really been shocked with the response to this trailer.
Yeah, great point. This new movie, and I think we had this conversation when it first was like floating around that he was doing it. Like, it only needs to be a 5 out of 10 to be the default best one that's ever been released.
Exactly.
I haven't seen all of the Anderson ones. I've seen the first 4, and then I think I found out that they made like 7. And like none of them have like anything to do with anything from the games besides occasionally just like one character has a name. Like Chris Redfield, I think, is in the 4th one, but it's like name only, or maybe it's the 3rd one. But it doesn't matter. Like, it's just the names are all they're really going for. Like, they're terrible. Like, the first one, you can make an argument for being entertaining, but it's still a terrible movie in my opinion. So it's like, here's our potential for the first like legitimately good one, and I don't know, like some of these reactions were really confusing me. I feel like a lot of them maybe haven't seen his commentary, because the commentary he made is very illuminating on the thought process for the film and what's going on in it. That I think immediately abates a lot of fears people have. And I ran this test on someone in my workplace as like kind of so
very smart.
We'll circle back to that because it's funny. He was like the real life version of some of these reactions where he was like, I don't know, man, it looked pretty bad. And then I get him to watch the commentary and he's totally 180'd on it. But let's go through the trailer first. And by go through I mean talk about, 'cause I'm not going to show it because I get copyright strike probably. But so we have the trailer, which shows our main character Brian navigating a wonderful adventure through what has been confirmed to be Raccoon City during the outbreak featured within Resident Evil 2/3, encountering critters along the way, trying to deliver something. Thoughts on what we've seen so far?
Man, I think this is a really interesting one because, and in the commentary, and I just want to make say as well, the commentary helped me out a bunch too. I thought it was really great to hear him kind of discuss his thoughts on how to make this film and some of the things that he's going to take from the games and put in the film. And it's none of it is like story bits, which I think is actually great. I think the way that he discussed the third person kind of viewing and the way the camera will work throughout the film, I thought was so interesting, and think that it's going to provide for a lot of really cool parts. And then of course he's going to throw in beeps and bops here from the series. You know you're going to see it. You know you're going to see the herbs. He already discussed that. But there's going to be other things too, and there's going to be things that the fans are going to see that and they're going to grab onto that. And I think it's really going to help the fans kind of digest the film when it finally is out. I actually think that the narrative around this film is going to flip almost as it is released. People will start seeing it, and people are going to be like, "Whoa, okay, this is very good. This is really good." And I like the approach. I think it's the right approach. I'm actually viewing this film in the same vein that I viewed Joker in, to where like Batman's not in it. That's cool. Harley Quinn is not in it. That's cool. Like, this is not that kind of a film. As a fan, I need to be okay with that and allow for someone to take like something that I love and transform it into something we haven't seen before. And I don't think we've seen a Resident Evil movie like this yet. And I've discussed Cregger with you before, and we'll get into some of that. But I'm just really excited about this movie. I think that it's going to provide a really fresh, interesting take on an IP that I have loved practically my entire life.
Is there anything from the trailer specifically that you were like, oh, when you saw it?
Yeah, the lady in the doorway. And I don't even know what that thing looks like. But
the limbs that come out of the door?
Yes. I absolutely love like body horror stuff, like from The Thing. Like, I have a particular fear of that sort of a thing. And it kind of feels like Cregger is going to create this like who's who of creature feature. Look at this thing. And that's very exciting.
Yeah, the thing and the thing is not your thing that you want a thing with. Brilliant.
I mean, I liked when the body is pulled away when he's trying to get the key. I thought the key thing was a throwback to the series, and he discussed that in his commentary as well.
Yep.
But I could keep going, but I'm pretty excited about this movie.
My favorite was Baron Harkonnen from Dune making his cameo.
Yeah.
So as I watched the trailer, that was like my first. I see that dude, and I'm like, Baron Harkonnen. Oh my god, he's a.
Well,
boss
I think you
fight.
immediately sent me a text about that.
I sent some. I think it was you or someone else. I sent someone an image of Baron Harkonnen before there were even memes. Like, just immediately, just like, this is what this is, and now there are memes.
Yeah.
But it's also just creepy and weird. Like, I think that's cool. So. Yeah, I'm a fan of what's being shown in the trailer. I knew, there's been a lot of talk about this movie before the teaser, about like some plot stuff like leaked about it or whatever from when it was shown at CinemaCon or something, and so I knew it was kind of like, some kind of journey this dude's going on, and the movie's kind of formatted like something like Mad Max Fury Road, where it's like this kind of unending string of action sequences. Or not really action sequences, but just like it doesn't let up, basically. Because even in Fury Road's like, well, it has a couple slow moments, but for the most part, that movie is like they're in something. And
I actually haven't seen it.
What?
Yeah,
there's another one for our list, dude. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, Fury Road. Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there more than one of those? Because I've seen none of them. I'm not familiar with that IP at all.
Mad Max. There was a trilogy in the late 70s to mid 80s, and then the second of which is the good one. And then Fury Road was made in 2015 with different actors It's very good. Practical stunts and car stuff. It's really cool.
Cool.
Then they made a sequel. They made a prequel to that called Furiosa two years ago, and it's okay.
Right. So you brought up
anyway.
a few times. Yes, just want to get us back on track. So you've made a few comments about the online narrative around this game, and there's something that I wanted to do that I think would be really funny. And I told you we were going to do this beforehand, but what I did is I went back to the Resident Evil 7.
Well, actually, so hold on one second. Before you do that, to frame this up a little bit better, because this is a great thing you're about to do, and it's a gift that I've been waiting for the past like 3 days. So the reactions to the film, it was predicted before it came. The prophecy came true, and it's that people were going to be like, "Oh, it looks like a good movie, but a bad Resident Evil movie," like whatever the hell that means. So I was so perplexed by that even before it happened, and then continued to be after, because it was like, what makes it Resident Evil? Because like the only through line that all of the Resident Evils have that I've noticed is like crazy weird like creatures that transform sometimes. Like that's
right.
like the one thing that's like in all the games. But the settings are different, the protagonists shift out, there are recurring characters, but it isn't like all 9 core games star Leon. Only like a fraction of them do. So you can't even say it's like one character that drives the whole experience. Different settings, different time periods. Like there's not, it isn't like Mario Bros. Where like if you had a Mario movie that didn't have Mario, you would cause riots because Mario is in all of the Mario games. Resident Evil's not quite like that. So I don't really, and then for anyone that had concerns, if you watch the director commentary on that trailer, and Cregger like explains like how the movie is like structured, and like, oh yeah, this guy, he's gonna rummage through drawers, he's gonna find one gun, and then later on he's gonna get a better gun, and then later on a better gun from that one, and there's gonna be locked doors that get in his way. Like that's the games. Like he's describing to you how the games like flow. And to me, the coolest thing that he said in that director commentary, for just a fun thing to look forward to, the zombies aren't the focus, the creatures are. And that's awesome, because that's kind of the opposite of how the other movies have been so far, where the BOWs take like a real backseat to just generalized zombie action. Like if you watch the first like 3 or 4 of those Anderson movies, the first one has a licker, and that's it. And that's the final boss of the movie too, which is funny because they're not really that in the games. And then the second one,
and that CG is just so bad.
The second one throws the Nemesis in there, and then also lickers. Oh, we had 2 that time, from a game that had like tons. The third one had nothing but zombies. It had spark zombies, and then the fourth one had frickin' Pyramid Head dude from Silent Hill shows up. So like, they don't know what the hell they're doing.
You talking about the guy with the big axe?
Yeah, they had like, he's like a Silent Hill dude.
Nope, he's from RE5.
He looks like Silent Hill stuff though.
He does.
I'll give you that. So when Zach said that the T-virus creatures are what's driving it, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then from the trailer, totally they're also new creatures, which is also awesome. As much as it would be fun to see like all the stuff from the games on film, much like a new game in the series, it's also fun to see new stuff. Like I'm all for it if it's like T-virus related and crazy shit. That's cool. So 100%. With that said, all these reactions, and we kind of talk a little more about them after what you're about to do, but I wanted to get that out there first, that people are reacting to this like it's some kind of sin or something, for daring to not star Leon S. Kennedy as he roundhouse kicks people left and right, as if that's the most important thing to the IP.
Right.
Setting aside the fact that 7 and 8 and 9 to an extent barely resemble the games that predate them.
Absolutely.
And which is going to lead into this. So
I was just going to say that.
So
that's going to lead right into this.
So I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg, but I messaged you saying, hey, you know what? I just had this thought that I have to wonder if there's similarities between the reaction to this movie and the reaction to 7 when it was first announced / released, because of how different 7 was from the previous string of games. even just going back a couple entries, let alone the whole lexicon. But 7, very different approach to the formula. So I bet you that we're gonna find some similar complaints.
Yeah, for sure, some great stuff. So what I did is I went back into the Resident Evil 7 announcement video 9 years ago, which is wild, and I combed through the comments and found some really funny stuff, some very relevant stuff, which will make it much more funny. All right, so starting off, we got, this doesn't seem like a Resident Evil game.
Oh! Well, there we go.
We got a banger right up front. Yeah.
To the core of the issue.
Oh.
That's perfect.
And then we got this. Not too hopeful about this one. It looks like a great horror game, but there's nothing Resident Evil about this.
Now, refresh me on this announcement video. What does it give you? Does it show the mold creatures at all?
It doesn't show any of that. It is
just the bakers.
You don't even see any of that. You literally see at the end of the trailer, the viewer thinks that this is like a ghost game. Like it's all very the scene. It's all very dark, very slow. Flashlight. It plays this song at the end that's like really unnerving. Call like Aunt Rhody or Go Call Aunt Rhody or whatever, but it's very interesting and it's unique, but it gave like a very ghost type vibe. So ultimately the community has some interesting takes. So let's go to this one right here. This one's great. When I read, I couldn't believe that I was reading these because they're so relevant.
I should have said it beforehand. For people that may not have the full context, 7 was like the new best-selling one in the franchise at the time and was like very critically acclaimed. It did super good is kind of the point. I think 7 had the sales record that 9 is the first one that broke, I think, if I remember correctly, which says a lot. Maybe, because the remakes all came out in between then and now too. So 7 set a bar that it took like 5 more core games to break, all of which were reviewed well on release.
And 7 was a huge change from what we had seen up until that point for sure. So here's a great one. Where is Chris, Leon, and Jill?
See, there it is.
As soon as I read that one, I thought of you. I was like, I can't believe I'm reading these comments. This is perfect. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go.
The one guy asking for a sequel to 6.
Okay, so next up, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. On one hand, this looks like a great horror game. On the other, this isn't anything remotely like Resident Evil. I'll keep an open mind, but this trailer gives me the impression that Resident Evil doesn't know where to go next.
That one's funny. You know what? I can almost sympathize with that in the wake of, if we put that in context of the year this trailer came out, when the recent stuff was 6 and Operation Raccoon City, I can kind of understand that.
But it needed to change, man. Those games are awful. This one's really funny because you literally made a joke to me about this the other day. RE1, enormous mansion. RE2, Raccoon City. RE3, Raccoon City. RE4, Spain. RE5, Africa. RE6, cities across the world. 7, a house.
What does he want it to be? Like go to the moon?
Oh
also,
my goodness.
Africa's a continent. Like, it probably took place specifically somewhere in Africa, not just all of Africa. Chris, we have to visit every single country and province in Africa. Let us begin.
That proves the point that there's always going to be a subsect of fans that aren't happy with the direction. Yeah. I almost guarantee you, though, if you followed up with those folks, they would tell you 7's great, and they ended up thinking it was really good and all of that. But here's what I wanted to admit about that. It was very interesting. I would say 70% of the comments were, "Oh my God, this is incredible. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. This is so great." So that was one thing I was very proud of, is the community definitely overwhelmingly, unlike now, was
Well,
very excited for what they were doing.
I had that thought too, and I'd be willing to bet that we're kind of seeing like a silent majority thing here, where
I agree.
the loudest voices are these people that are like, well, why doesn't it have Leon, Chris, and Jill fighting things on the moon? Like, whereas like everyone else is like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
see if I can find that sales thing. Scroll through this because these numbers are pretty impressive. But yeah, like that, people, I don't get it. Like, I already said it, but like, you know, what the hell constitutes it looking like Resident Evil when it's a franchise that has radically changed multiple times across its stuff? I mean, the first three were fixed camera angle, tank control games. Then you had like 4 was like a more straightforward kind of action experience. 5 dialed that up to 11 with like sort of an arcade injection that 6 sort of kept going with, it seems. It's like they're all different. Like they don't commit to the same
IP
formula.
Right. The IP is riddled with risks that have all somehow paid off. Honestly. Like each huge change in the series ended up resulting in a good thing. You know, so this is just another thing that the IP is doing. It's like an amorphous blob that can like adapt to whatever needs to be good, and that's what the IP has done. And yeah, it's just been really interesting. I remember it was funny because we had kind of talked about the film coming out and all that, and you know, we were both very excited for it. And I remember when I finished the trailer, I was like, "Holy cow, this looks incredible." I never thought in a million years that the fan base would respond to this the way that they have. Honestly, never thought. I did not think that was going to happen. I thought everybody was going to be on board, and boy, have I been just disappointed in the fan response. But I will agree with you that I think there's a silent majority type thing going on, and I think that will start to show itself here soon. I
found the number
before
I was looking
about
for. Resident Evil 7 sold 5 million copies within a year of its release, which RE9 did in the first 5 days. To show that record that had to be broken. So, you know, all that pessimism really resulted in a game that was critically, you know, celebrated and also sold like 5 million copies within a year, which is cool. Yeah, I've been a little like thrown off by a lot of the reactions, because a lot of the reactions are just simply put like, it doesn't look like an RE movie. And then I'm kind of go back to my point where I'm like, well, what the hell does like,
or why do we want that?
Yeah, like, so I remember when I was like really young, I think it was like 2004, 2003, whatever year the second Resident Evil movie came out, Apocalypse. I remember seeing a trailer for it, having not seen the movie for many years afterward, but like the trailer had a focus moment, like, you know, a lot of trailers have a big moment, and it was the scene where Mila Jovovich's character is like running down the side of the skyscraper on like bungee cords with like 2 guns in her hands, and you know, people say like, it doesn't look like a Resident Evil movie. Did you think that did? Like I don't.
Great point.
I don't get that complaint, because like, what does? But then what we're going to come back to is that, you know, a lot of these concerns get eliminated immediately if you listen to his director commentary, because it's very interesting. So the only 2 points I'll give people are, number 1, it's got a lot of snow, and like people were saying there's no snow in RE2 and 3. I mean, to just entertain a thought, I mean, Raccoon City is like supposed to be like Colorado kind of territory. Like, it can snow there for like a day and then stop. It's not like an unheard of thing. And the saying it takes place during RE2, like the whole outbreak of Raccoon City, that wasn't like one night. Like, that was like a process that built and then like overflowed. And like that chaos point is what's seen in Resident Evil 3 more so than 2. Leon and Claire kind of arriving after the boil over point.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is it could have snowed before that happened. And then
Yeah, so
someone noticed that he has a cell phone with like an iPhone light, so that it implies the movie doesn't take place in 1998. I also don't know if that really matters. I don't think there's anything about any of these games that hinges on the technology in their hands. Someone was pretty quick to point out that RE6 had like foldable hologram cubes, and then RE9 went back to like normal smartphones. So like, again, the games aren't consistent with it, so why should the movies be?
yeah, I have two opinions on the snow thing. One, I don't really care
I
about
didn't care
that,
either.
but I think it's an unforced error because I don't think Cregger has to put a timeline on any of that. I think that he can just say that because Raccoon City does get nuked, sure, yeah, but I don't think it matters all that much. And I think that him saying that it takes place on the day of is just verbiage that he just shouldn't have used, honestly.
Yeah, because he
Petey.
does, toward the end of his thing, he does make a point to be like, the stuff at the police station is happening like over here.
Yeah.
And like my mind is, it's not like he went to Capcom and they were like, make us a movie that we can slot into the timeline. Like that's not the conversation that happened. Like I know it's not. So like
Right.
it's what I would call ambiguous canon. Like
I agree, yeah.
the movie respects that the games exist, but isn't like hinging on stuff from the games to influence itself necessarily.
Right.
Like basically you can say that this movie happens in the world that the RE2 and 3 games take place in. And that's where
Yes.
that ends. That's all it needs to be. Because again, it's not
Yeah.
like Leon's going to show up and be like, "Hi, I'm Leon. I'm going to roundhouse kick somebody." Like it's not what's happening.
Somebody in the audience is gonna think that's coming. I'm telling you right now.
The most
And
we're gonna
that's
get
just-
is like the police stations in the background. Like I bet that's like the most.
Well, that's my point. Is like you're gonna see things like herbs. You're probably gonna see at some point. You're gonna see like an RPD crest on the wall inside of a house.
Yeah.
Like that's the stuff that you're gonna get. Like you're not getting. There's absolutely going to be a cop zombie running around with an RPD outfit on, without a doubt. Like those are the throwbacks you're going to be getting. You're not going to see Ada Wong like swinging across a skyscraper or anything. Like
Oh my
you're,
God.
you're just not going to see that. And I'm okay with that. I have no issue with that at all. I'm very excited.
That's the thing, because like so you watch the commentary and he kind of explains, the way that the movie's put together, like how it basically is the gameplay on film. This guy navigating obstacles, getting confronted with a bunch of creatures and scavenging for supplies and getting a gun, getting a better gun, locked door here, locked door there, got to get around this, herbs. Like it's the game is happening. So then my thought was, okay, what we have here is basically like a spin-off game, but as a film. That's all it is. And that's kind of the perfect thing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like one of the games on film as is, because we don't need that. I had this rant that I gave you where I had this kind of new philosophy on game movies where if you have something with like an absurdly simple or even just non-existent narrative or plot, i.e. Mario, Sonic, the plots of those games being like very point A to point B stuff, that's pretty
Right.
ripe for expansion on film to make more from that material. But more sophisticated stuff, Metal Gear, Resident Evil, The Last of Us, God of War, etc., etc., etc. Like the games have sophisticated enough plots and narratives and cutscenes and voice acting and so on. The game is the movie. Like you don't need that again on film. The biggest problem of which is that they compete with each other. There is no way in hell that if they made a Resident Evil 4 the movie and did it like as faithfully as they could, no matter what they do, the guy on film playing Leon is never going to be as endearing to us as game Leon. They will always be in conflict, and that's why you shouldn't do it.
I totally agree. And if you want a 1-for-1 RE film, or as close as you're gonna get, Welcome to Raccoon City is the best you're gonna get, and that movie is not good.
I was about to say I heard it was bad.
I think at this point in your fandom, you should watch it because
Oh
I think that
no.
you would you would appreciate it for its attempt at force feeding video game accuracy into a movie. I think that's the best credit you can give that movie.
Oh my
Honestly,
god.
it's not very good. The depictions of most of the characters are, again, not very good. Um, the effects are not good. The soundtrack is not good.
What is good? The end credits come and then you're happy.
It's no, it's like I said, it's force feeding of a video game IP into a. It's literally RE1 and 2, the movie, the game, the movie.
The movie, the game, the movie.
It's worth a watch if you're a fan of the IP. That's all I'm saying.
You know what you're reminding me of? Ubisoft, when Assassin's Creed was at its absolute peak of popularity, they made a short film that released on Blu-ray. And you're making me think of that, where they were like, let's just get a guy in the assassin costume and have him like jump on a dude with a hidden blade, and that's a 15-minute film. Like it's force feeding you the game on film, basically. So that's what you're making me think of. I forget the name.
Yeah,
of
but
that.
it's worth a watch if you're a fan of the IP. Otherwise, no way, because you're not going to have a clue what's going on.
That seems to be the audience that some of these things are going for, though. Strangely enough,
Yeah,
because
I
like
don't
the
get it.
Halo show had that exact philosophy, where it's let's make a show that appeals to people that aren't Halo fans.
Mass Effect
And
show,
Mass
dude.
Effect's
I'm
going
so
the
worried.
same way. Yeah, they were like, make it worse though. Like I have
Yeah.
I have feedback. Can you make it worse?
Make it worse.
Make it
Oh.
less like the games, please. Sonic had it right, because like Sonic, the first one, like was really hesitant to do stuff from the games, really, which let them like establish that world and those characters, and then do something crazier for the sequels, getting us to the point where we get like Super Sonic and Super Shadow and a little bit of Live and Learn and whatnot. Like it earned that little journey. Like you
Yeah.
could theoretically do that with any game IP, but like again, why? Like The Last of Us is kind of my golden example of this, because Last of Us, the first game, I never played the second one. Mostly because I just couldn't, like I didn't have the console that it was like built for. But you know, the first one is this like really crazy kind of interactive movie, basically. Not saying that as a complaint. Some people would wield it as a complaint, but it's like this
Yeah, they
action
would.
game that's like a movie, basically. And then they do a TV show, and the TV show is like pretty faithful. But that, in my mind, was kind of a bad thing, because I'm just sitting there like bored, like, oh, this is this scene, no, that's that sequence, oh, that's that sequence. Like there's nothing for me as someone who's familiar with it to grab onto. And then I had this conversation with somebody, and they hit me back with, well, it's meant to grab onto a new audience. Maybe it was Mike. And I didn't really have a retort for that then, but I do have one now. And it's that if you're going to do that, don't do that, because the movie being different, like the movie's there because the games were popular enough to birth the movie. So the movie shouldn't be like, let's just piss off the fans that got us here to begin with. I'm looking at you, Mass Effect, the series. We'll see how that plays out.
Terrible.
Halo, specifically. Because Last of Us, the show's not bad. But, like, you know, I'm just saying
Yeah.
it was kind of boring for me, because I'm just like, we're just going through this stuff I just play the game. Like, it's just play the game.
Yeah, the only reason why I actually enjoyed that show is because it allowed me to experience the first game with my wife, who has never played the game before.
Okay.
So she had no idea what was coming, like absolutely no idea. And I accidentally spoiled what's most likely going to be in Last of Us Season 2, and I was correct, and we decided to skip it.
Oh, they did
So.
the stuff from the game.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, they did.
I guess that saves them money on what's his face's
It saves,
contract.
saves them a lot of money.
We're like, do it. Can you do it sooner?
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah. Do it in episode 2, season 1.
That's funny. I mean, like, so you know, I'm like a lonely wretch, so I don't have someone that I could have shared that with. That makes more sense if you had someone to kind of go on that journey with. All that speaks to why I'm glad that this Resident Evil movie is following beats from the games, but isn't trying to be like one of the games one for one. I mean, hell, some of it doesn't even like wouldn't even like translate that well, like outside of the logic and art design of like a game world. Like how the fourth Anderson movie like did Wesker and stuff. It's just like stupid. Like on film, you're just sitting there going like, this is just like bad Equilibrium / Matrix. I said Equilibrium first, which is like a huge mistake. I'm gonna get murdered like tomorrow by somebody. I did it alphabetically. It's just like that on film, and it's lame. But if you experience that in the game, you don't really think that. Like I don't, at least. Like my instinct when I see Wesker doing his like, you have 7 minutes of playtime, Chrissy. Like when I see that in the game, I'm like, oh, this is like stupid funny. This is great. I love it. But on film, you're like, this is just crappy Matrix. Like some of it just doesn't translate well.
Sure. Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Going back to some of the stuff that Cregger said about the way the film, the way the story beats work, the way the structure of the film works, and the way that kind of mirrors the experience of playing the games. Spicy hot take here, but I think this could turn into the benchmark for translating a video game into a film, because studios are not going to necessarily worry about adapting the story beats. They're going to adapt the way that the structure of the games works. Now, I don't know what else there is to adapt that style to, but I'm sure that they'll find something, like I know that Doom film had like an FPS part of the film, and I know that movie sucks, but but that's an interesting thing for a film to do. And I think that you'll see similar stuff here, and I think that you might see that that adapted really well, and I think we might end up seeing similar stuff later on. That is more about the way that the video game is structured, as in like what you are doing.
You're on to something. So, yes, the movie Doom, which is bad, ironically has the first-person sequence that emulates the game, but the plot of the movie totally slaps the game lore in the face, and they do like mutants instead of doing hell demons. But they did the first person thing, which is definitely the most interesting part of the movie, for better or for worse.
100%.
Also, it's pretty rare to see a movie with Dwayne Johnson where like he's not really the main character, like he's like the main supporting guy, and B, he's the bad guy, and C, he dies. That checks a lot of boxes in The Rock's career that like never happen anymore.
And Carl Urban is in that movie.
Yeah, dude, he's the highlight. He's the main character.
Dude, he's amazing.
Reaper is his character's name because I love him. So that happened. But then, I think what really went after that kind of idea was the Mario movies.
I totally agree.
They have multiple sequences that are just the games on film, like pretty like untransparently so. Like there's like those like side-scrolling sequences in the first movie, which are some of my
favorite parts.
And then the second movie did the same stuff, but like made it a little more interesting, like the montage where they're taking care of the kingdom, and Mario and Luigi run up on those hammer bros on the blocks. Like you're just seeing the game on film, basically. Like that's I think that's cool. The Halo show sort of did that one time across its like 8 episodes that are 52 hours each, torturing you. But I mean, you may be onto that. Like you may start seeing more of that now.
Yeah, because I think that it's going to allow, like I said, studios to not really worry about the lore type stuff. Like they'll dabble in it, like he did here. But I think it's going to be it could spill over into some more video game stuff, which we are absolutely in the golden age of video game IPs transferred into film. We're gonna put I don't know when this is gonna pop, but MK2 comes out really soon, and I think that movie's gonna be a lot of fun, honestly.
I saw some pre-screen reviews. I haven't seen spoilers yet, thankfully. But one thing I was very happy to see is a turn in this direction that you're talking about, where like the gameplay and like some of that's just more just done on screen as is. I read that the whole symbol tattoo thing that like grants the powers is just not even a thing in the new movie.
Oh, good.
And I was like, thank God, because like that's typical kind of old school. I say old school 4 years ago, but like that's the old way of like trying to adapt games on screen. You're trying to explain everything like for no reason.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how could he shoot lasers? Well, he uses a magic tattoo. Like,
Yeah.
as if that isn't like the dumbest thing already.
Yeah.
You're only making it dumber that way. Just they could just do what they do. Like, it doesn't matter. You don't have to explain these things.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be good. I think Mortal Kombat 2 is going to be good. I think that Street Fighter 2 is going to, Street Fighter the movie is going to be ass.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, we're on the same page here, 100%.
It looks fan made, and it looks like it was made by Netflix on their worst day.
Yep.
And
I agree.
I did not like them coming out on stage and just throwing shade that's unwarranted, because for as many complaints you can levy against the first Mortal Kombat movie, it was still good and did well.
Yeah.
Here come these guys with no proven history, just assuming that they're the best, when that was before a trailer even dropped, and now we have the trailer and we're like, ugh.
I just think like we're all in this as a team. Like we all just want video game IPs transferred into film and it be good. Like we're all on the same team here. Like there's no. I understand the Mortal Kombat Street Fighter thing, and it's a really tough spot for me to be in, because this has nothing to do with Resident Evil. But we're gonna get back to that.
Maybe we'll.
I'm
maybe
more
we'll.
of a Street Fighter fan than I am MK. I'm way a bigger fan. But I don't, like you said, I don't like how they've gone about this film, and I haven't liked any of the trailers that I've seen. I like the direction that the Mortal Kombat film is going in, and I'm probably going to end up seeing that. So,
Yeah, I'm a fan of both, but Mortal Kombat are the games that I actually play regularly, whereas Street Fighter, I've always kind of been interested in, like Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, and like seeing some of their other like video content that they released here and there, and like reading about the characters. I can't play those games at all. Like I'm so bad at them, I can't even do it. So like I've never really been into the games themselves, but I love the characters and like their stories, and I know everyone's kind of thing, just like I do for Mortal Kombat, which is funny. So like I would love that movie to be good, but it just does not look like it's gonna be.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I would probably put Super Street Fighter 4 in like my top 5 fighting games of all time.
I played a lot of that on 3DS.
Like,
funny
so did I.
Yeah.
I played it online on 3DS, which was surprisingly good.
Yeah, I played a lot of it on PS3 too, actually. That one I did. That's the one that I played the most out of all of them.
Street Fighter 4 is just
killer opening sequence. I love the art style.
Oh yes.
But I'm very familiar with like the Mortal Kombat like through lines and stories, and I am looking forward to the possibility of these movies, going through those storylines and kind of getting us to. If we got like something like Mortal Kombat like 10 specifically on film, I'd be very happy. I love that game story. Seeing that on film would be kind of cool, but also don't really need to, because the game is the movie. But who knows? they're in that kind of gray space right now where it's like Mortal Kombat original plot is like so well known, but also has never really been put to film properly. It kind of makes you hungry for it. But after that, like Mortal Kombat 10 and 11, like those are movies basically. Like we don't need. Cool. That's when like NetherRealm started to do like these like really cool single player experiences for their games. Injustice, Mortal Kombat 10 and 11 and 1 all have these like really, Injustice 2 actually have these like really crazy single player modes, like tons of cutscenes. It's really interesting. Like you can find like all the cutscenes put together, they're like 5 hours of content. It's like Metal Gear Solid. Like it's crazy.
Nice.
But Resident Evil.
Right. It's all kind of the same sphere, right? We're talking about video games transferred into films, and the interesting world we live in right now, which is the golden age. We are very fortunate to live in a time where studios have finally figured out how to make video game movies.
Yeah, for the most part. Some of them still haven't. They're in the Stone Age.
We've
had our road bumps.
Well, for sure, right? But I think that at this point we're getting way more good ones, and I think this is gonna be a good one.
I can't even really think of anything that was good before Sonic. I'm trying to think of one that's like objectively good, and not just like because we're giving it a lot of slack.
Well, I am an absolute 1995 Mortal Kombat stan.
That's probably the
So
only one. Yeah.
yeah, that
That
movie's
movie's pretty
great.
fun. It's pretty dumb
It's
and there's a lot of weird stuff in it, like Scorpion's weird like sentient snake monster harpoon thing is like so freaking weird to me. But the
I
Goro
love it.
fight's amazing and I love the practical effects.
The soundtrack. Oh
Soundtrack's
God.
killer. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oof.
I can't think of
I'll
anything
send you
else.
a I'll send you a track from the Mortal Kombat 95 soundtrack later. It's a good one. But anyways, Resident Evil. Yeah, very
One
excited
thing
about the film.
we didn't mention. We mentioned the how Cregger said that there are going to be like, guns and scavenging and locks and whatever. There's a stalker in the movie.
Oh, ah,
So another mechanic has appeared in the film, your adversary, that a lot of RE games have, whether they be persistent through the whole thing or just one particular chunk, whatever. The movie has its own stalker. The limbs that come out of the doorway, whatever that thing is, it's gonna be it's gonna be after Brian for like the whole movie apparently.
yeah, yeah.
And much like I think you said it was going to change too, so sort of like the Nemesis in 3, like it's going to have like multiple forms as things progress, which is pretty sick.
See that's a very obvious nod to a certain enemy that you fight in the RE series, and Nemesis is not actually. Well, I guess it's sort of, but to me, what he is adapting there is going to be G-type. William
True. Yes.
Burke, and starting off as a thing, and throughout the film he's going to change from thing to thing to thing until he's most likely going to be like an amorphous blob that takes over the whole structure or something.
Until he
really cool.
finally becomes the father that Sherry deserved and takes her to career day at school.
Right, that's true.
We didn't get to
That-
see what
that's
if
true.
he kept going, he would have eventually it would have looped around. He would have eventually gone back to normal for like a day, and then it repeats.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Did you see him on that train? He ain't coming back from that, brother.
Yeah, he became a wall.
Yeah, absolutely. So earlier, before we started filming, you said that you had something that you wanted to say or something that was relevant to this and that I would think is really funny or cool or whatever. But you said you might have forgotten, so I wanted
Totally
to make
did.
sure that I brought it up.
And it's a good thing you did. I started playing 8.
Oh, that's interesting.
I
love hearing that.
decided to skip 7 after thinking about it. 8 just seemed
fine.
far more interesting to me. And then I found out that there's like a recap. Not that it's super in depth though, but I already know the beats of 7 even beyond that recap. So I started playing 8.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How far are you?
Werewolves. That's not
Okay.
This isn't Resident Evil. Wolf.
And it's in the snow.
And it's in the snow. That was my first.
Well,
thought.
that's really exciting.
That's my first thought. I was like, Wolfman. This isn't Resident Evil.
That is great.
Oh man.
You are in for quite the game. 8 is super fun. I loved it when it came out. I love it today. It has some of the best individual moments in the IP. It's a great game. You're gonna love it. The castle area is top tier, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that particular environment.
Yeah. So you walk over that cliff and you see, frickin' Castle Dracula in the distance. And I was like, what is this? Bram Stoker's Dracula? This isn't Resident Evil.
Now, are you playing it first person or third?
I might have to change it to third because first person is making me kind of sick. I had to like walk
Gotcha,
away from
okay.
it and felt kind of nauseous. I don't know
Interesting.
why. Maybe the head bobbing in that's more aggressive than it was in 7. Something
maybe.
about it was making me like, ugh.
Uh-oh. Well, you can switch between first or third. So choose your fighter.
I thought that, isn't there like a thing, like if it's third person though, can you see his face?
Oh yeah,
Oh, they added, is that after the fact or when it came out?
that came out later.
I was about to say, 'cause I thought that it was like known for a while that Ethan had like no face.
No, it was their test run for what we have now today, which is their ability to make third-person games, first-person games, and both.
Gotcha.
And so just with that, though, the third person movement and aiming is pretty rudimentary and will not feel as polished as 9 or 4 for sure.
Gotcha. That makes sense. It came out before. So.
But yeah, you'll love 8. The environments are really good. It has some top tier stuff, and the castle area is really, really good.
Yeah. It was yeah, I don't know why I started playing it, but I just started playing it today, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Then like
That's exciting.
I got a kick out of Chris Redfield looking like General Zod from Superman comics. He's like the same character.
Yeah, they've really. It's so weird because with how well that they've done the consistency now with Jill and Claire and Leon, they have really not done a good job with Chris Redfield, like at all, as far
That's what
as
it feels
keeping
like.
the continuity the same.
Yeah, he seems like he seems like something happened to him after 5, and like a therapist was like, "You need to chill out, dude. Like you need to wipe this slate clean. You're punching boulders and screaming and stuff, and you're working out too hard. I'm gonna give you this prescription. It may make you a little sad, but it's gonna be better for you, buddy."
Yeah.
He seems like he's a little down. That was the way he seems.
Chris in 6 is similar but toned down to 5, and they should have just stuck with that.
Yeah.
In 5, he's just too jacked, and I just can't get on board with that. The character's good, but the model is not.
He has that like kind of Unreal Engine 3 body. That's what I describe it as. There's like everyone, those muscle freaks that engine like defined. That's cool. I mean, that's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most about the remake of 1 is that we get like a more serious approach to like those characters and how they act and whatnot. Because Jill in particular in the 3 remake is pretty hardcore.
She's great.
And I got a kick out of like how just like badass she is. Like my favorite moment being when the Nemesis very hilariously comes like screaming out of the subway on fire. He's having a very bad day, and he trips and falls into the river, and then she's just like, "Bitch can't swim." Like, I just like love that moment so much. I'm like, what have you been through? You're like a SWAT team. Like, what have you done? Like, she's gone through like the plot of Dread or something, like before all this. Like, it's like something happened to her that like made her this like steeled maniac, and maybe she will be like more naive or like nice or something in the remake of 1, because the whole idea is that Resident Evil 1 was like her crucible that like changed her. I could totally see that being the thing, and like toward the end of 1 she starts to become that like colder, like more serious person. Either way, the remake of 1 has my attention, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, haven't seen anything on that yet, you know, but it's my favorite one. So a remake of my probably like, I don't know, top 10, top 5 favorite video game of all time would be quite an experience. So I just hope they do it right. And some of the stuff they did in RE9 absolutely projects to Capcom knowing exactly what they're doing. And I really look forward to whatever ends up being the remake of 1, and I really look forward to this film that we'll be seeing at some point.
What was this about? So I had one last thought about the film. Two things you might want or expect. So, 2-part question: is there a particular BOW from the games that you do hope is going to be on screen? And secondly, if there was something more concrete from the games that you'd want to see on film, whether it be a cameo or a location or an item or something like this is from RE2, this is from RE3, so what would you want it to be? Those are the 2 questions. Creature and thing from the games.
Okay, so the creature question is a 2-way tie. And I unfortunately know that I don't know, but I'm fairly certain that I'm not going to see either of these. One of them would be I want to see the crocodile BOW from RE2.
Holy shit!
In the suit, yeah. That's what I want to see. Primarily because I love those sorts of things. I love Lake Placid and any of those. God. any of
Betty
those
White's
giant.
best movie by far, by the way.
Oh yeah, but pretty much all of those, and that kind of gives it away for what my second thing is. Somehow give me Neptune.
I was about to say it's probably gonna be Neptune, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Give me a gator or a shark.
He goes into the sewers, so I feel like the crocodile is more likely, or alligator.
But you
or
see the
it
big
is.
dude.
Yeah,
down
but
there.
that's just one part of it, though. He might blow that guy's head off and keep going, and then the next thing gets him.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
That would be super exciting, though. I would be really on board with that. I think Cregger getting the opportunity to film like a giant crocodile horror segment in the sewers sounds really scary, and I would love to see that.
Well, what's probably going to happen is he gets in the sewers, and then that thing, Baron Harkonnen, is like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? You need to get by? Oh, okay." And then he like goes, he does the thing from Zelda: Ocarina of Time, the Fish King guy. He's like, "Burp, burp, burp."
I don't know. I think that there's a
And
chance
then
that we
the
see that thing
crocodile
running.
and grabs him. That could be what happens.
Right.
For me,
So,
knowing that there's a sewer scene, it would be pretty cool if like Hunter Gamma showed up. But if we're talking just like regular other BOWs, I want to see Cregger do something with liquors, because they're the most well-trodden dirt, thus making them the most. Can we see what happens when someone with vision takes a crack at them? Because for me, Resident Evil 9, in a couple parts, kind of made liquors cool again to me. Because the Anderson movies like made them like the effects were bad and they're just kind of dumb, and then the Resident Evil Survivor, they were like a total joke. So like it was like really refreshing to see them like taken seriously again. They are in 9, and I'm like, Cregger could do something cool with them. Like he totally could, and they're pretty classic too. Or just like totally crazy. The Tyrant had to get to the police station somehow. It would be kind of funny if there is like a brief encounter between Brian and Mr. X, because he has to get there somehow, right?
I don't think we're gonna get Mr. X, but you know who we do have? Mr. XXL. The big guy.
The one from 6?
No. The fat guy. I saw him described as Mr. XXL. And I thought that was so funny, dude.
That's great.
But yeah, those are both great. I think honorable mention you have to, and I actually think that there's a decent chance that you get this, but I would love to see the chimeras from RE1. They are absolutely terrifying. It's an insect with
Those are the bugs, yeah.
Oh, and the way they move and the way they sound, and when you're in the lab at that point in the game, you can hear them crawling through the vents. It's very, very unsettling, and their design is just terrifying.
That would be cool, actually. Anything with creepy noises is a good one to go with, for sure. And then as far as items go, I think it would be really funny to see him like mix herbs, and like then we get to see how the herbs actually work, because we don't really know. I'm not aware of any moment in the gameplay where we actually see the herbs being applied or how it works, if they're like rubbing them on the wounds or like snorting them or what, but I'm curious to see how that's interpreted.
We know what they're doing, brother.
For 20, bro.
They're rolling fatties of the red herbs and the green herbs.
They're in their van.
Hilarious.
What's the thing from SNL where he's like rolling doobies?
In the van down by the river. Yeah, that's great. That's really funny. So you got. So you want to see like how it actually works with the herbs. That's your thing you want to see? It would
be kind of interesting, because like that's an iconic item of the franchise, but one that we also just like don't ever see them get. They just get consumed in a menu. Like, you know what? I take that back. 9 actually shows it, sort of. They have like that injector thing. Yeah. So they're like making herb juice and like but that's the newest one. So like this this movie was in development before 9 came out, so that's not going to be a thing in this movie, I presume.
Yeah.
Because they would have been on different development tracks.
So for me, there's two of them, and I know I've cheated on both of these questions by giving two responses, but one, I want to see a lot of RPD stuff. Give me uniforms, give me plaques on the wall, give me the RPD. Like, you never know. Like, I would love to see RPD stuff. Like, that's what I want to see. And then the other thing is, I want to see typewriters. Cregger's going to put one in the movie.
There's going to be one. He'll probably even have the character type on it, too.
Yeah.
To leave a message for somebody or something. Yeah, I bet he
exactly.
will.
It's coming. It's going to be somewhere. I don't know where. The importance, it could be blurred in the background, but we are getting a typewriter at some point in this movie. I know it.
My first thought when I heard that it was supposed to take place during Resident Evil 2 or whatever, I thought it would be kind of cool if there was a shot at some point where, like, in the background you see a helicopter like crash into a building, and you're like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is.
I was telling my wife the same thing. I was like, they can do stuff like that, and
that's all it needs to be too. Like, I don't like need to
the
like.
The fans are gonna go.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, like what I don't want it to do, and I know that it won't, but like I guess there's like a 1% chance of this. Like what I don't want it to do is have this character like literally bump into someone from the games and like have like a sustained interaction with them. Like he bumps into Claire as she passed through the gun shop or something. Like I don't want that.
I think that the closest thing you're gonna get to something like that is you're gonna get Leon's Jeep driving past the pro tag, and it's not even like nobody even notices what it is, but it's a Jeep. I think you'll get something like that, or you'll get Claire on her bike blaring by, or just some tiny little subtle thing. But I think that's the closest you're gonna get to like seeing in-game characters. It'll be things that the fans just are like, oh man, look at that.
Brian, like, you know, gets past something, takes a break. He's like panting on the ground, like, oh my gosh. And then like literally on screen, Jill runs by, engaging in a firefight with the Nemesis with this rocket launcher. Stars runs past him. Brian's just watching this happen, and then it's gone.
Oh man,
that'd be kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, I
they should do that.
I will say though, it's interesting because I don't think it matters too much, but Cregger absolutely slipped one of the enemies that's going to be in the film. Absolutely, without a doubt. And it's not a surprise, but it's cool to hear him bring it up. He absolutely says that there's zombie dogs in this movie.
Oh, well, zombie dogs, but not the Cerberus weapons from, they're the dogs.
Sure, but we're getting zombie dogs.
Zombies. They're doing zombies. I mean, that's cool. And I will say again, I'm so relieved at his comment that like the zombies aren't the focus. I'm like, thank God, man, because like they shouldn't be the focus. They're not even really the focus of the games either. They're just there. They're just like obstacles. They're the Goombas of the Resident Evil series. Like that's not what you're after.
Of the enemies.
Yeah, like 9 is the first one that I think made a point to make them all kind of special. How you have like every one of them. There's pairs. And every pair has like a distinct persona to them. But that's like, again, the newest thing. That wasn't something that happened prior that I'm aware of. The creatures are like the highlight. Like you're always looking forward to the next big boss fight or next horrifying encounter, not the next individual zombie. Uh-oh.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, sorry. I was just trying to get the camera to focus. But yeah, no, you're totally right. But I think this is going to be great. I like I've said before, I think what's going to be interesting is there's going to be a lot of fans that are going to end up eating crow here because they're going to spend the next 6 months telling us how bad this film is and how it's not going to be an RE film. And everything is going to turn around when the reviews start coming out and people are like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It might not be what you want, but it's pretty good. And I think fans are gonna have to be like, oh man, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. You know?
Yeah, because I'll give it to them that, you know, the snow is a weird choice, knowing that it's supposed to happen like during that stuff, but also I don't really care that much at that. But I get it. The smartphone thing. The ambiguous kind of time setting for it's also a little strange. but also
Yep.
nothing from those games in my mind hinged on it taking place with like 1998 technology constraints. Like it isn't like remaking something like Silence of the Lambs where like Clarice just has the ability to call the cops with her cell phone when she realizes who Buffalo Bill is. Like nothing like that happens. So like
Right.
I also just don't really care much, but I get those complaints. Like those are the few that I will like respect. But in my mind, this is like a new like spin-off game, but it's a movie, and that's cool. And the fact that it's, you know, in Zach's mind is taking place in Raccoon City when the events of RE2 and 3, well, I guess really 3 happens first, right? And then like Jill goes into her coma, and that's when 2 starts, when Leon and Claire arrive, I think. Whatever. It's during that stuff. The fact that that stuff exists in that universe makes the movie like pretty legit in my mind. Like knowing right away that the objective is to respect that the other games exist, but this wants to do its own thing without fully going rogue like the Anderson movies do. It's cool, and we're gonna get new BOWs and creatures, and it's all T-virus stuff, and like it's cool. There's a lot to be excited for this.
Yeah, I completely agree. It'll be really interesting. Like I said, you know, when we first started, I'm a huge fan of The Thing, and I think that there's going to be a lot of interesting similarities between some of the body horror stuff that we end up seeing in this film will look similar to the stuff that we've seen in the past, and I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be great.
I mean, what if the thing that is coming out of that doorway is like some other well, he said T-virus though. He made a point to say T-virus. I was going to say, what if it's another G-virus like subject, and that would explain the rapid mutations that it goes through?
I actually think that that's an interesting tip of his hand. As a matter of fact, multiple times in that commentary, he says that specifically multiple times. And in my opinion, that means that there could be a chance that we end up getting something T-virus related in the film. Like maybe there's a journal that the main character starts reading that includes something related to the T-virus, or maybe what's in the courier's box is something T-virus related, like maybe the T-virus itself, or something interesting. I have no idea. But I thought it was interesting that he specifically said T-virus more than once, and I think more than twice.
That was the focus. He never said G. He made a point to say T-virus the whole time, which is interesting for someone who's basing the whole thing off of RE2, because the G-virus takes the center stage in that game's plot, at least. The enemies you encounter are T-virus infected, but then, like, you know, William Birkin and everything, the through line of that game is the G-virus's impact. So I do find that kind of interesting that he did focus on T, but also references a creature that's whole process of how it changes across the film that's very much a G-virus thing. Or totally out there, it could be a Nemesis subject. It's got a Nemesis parasite in it. We don't even, like, that could just be something that the audience just kind of assumes, that the character may never know that, but that could also just be what that thing is, like another Nemesis creature on the loose.
Yeah. Very excited to see the direction for sure. This is definitely one that we're going to have to go see together, I would say.
In 4DX. Grandma!
Yeah.
I mean, we have to see -0 in 4DX at least to keep the tradition alive.
Okay. I would be down for that. Pretty concerned about that movie, but I'm excited about it, and I will definitely go see it nonetheless.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I think one more trailer needs to drop that it gives us a little more, so we stop having to guess at weird stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
I'd rather have some of it kind of unveiled to me prior than the mystery of whatever's going on with that. But yeah, Resident Evil. All right, there's our thoughts on Resident Evil. Currently, at the time that this video is going live, which will probably be like a day or two after we record it, lots of stuff in the Discord server available for early access, some of which is Resident Evil related. Our playthrough of Resident Evil Survivor is currently in there. God.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I felt like I hit like ultra instinct against the boss
Oh, yeah.
the second attempt. Like that was one of the most like in the zone moments I think I've ever gotten on
Yeah,
the channel.
you were
I don't know if you could
absolutely.
tell, but I was like, I was not about to die again on that guy.
Oh yeah, you did really good. Yeah, you did good the first time too. It was just a matter of like not really knowing what's coming next, so you're not really prepared. But
Yeah.
when you knew what was coming next, the second time you dominated. Um, we had a lot of fun with that one.
We
Has a lot
did.
of
We
standout
did.
moments in it. That's a weird game too. Again,
Very weird.
look, man, that's like the third or that's the fourth or fifth Resident Evil game that was released total, and already there's something where it's like, well, that's not very Resident Evil. Because at that point, they were all the same. They were all fixed camera angle survival horrors, and here comes this first-person, like, arcade shoot-'em-up with infinite pistol ammo. You couldn't get any further away from the originals if you tried. Like,
This is true.
but there we go. See, they were experimenting back then, too, is the point.
Indeed.
We will catch you next time. Definitely going to see this one in theaters, and we're seeing Godzilla 40X as well. That's going to happen, too.
I'm cool with it.
Grandma.